You're watching the News Hour at 9.
While some people struggled, the policemen had a tough time facing the wrath of people, while the cabinet headed by Prime Minister Modi set its example by social distancing in a cabinet meeting. And of course, some people got very angry with our corona warriors, especially our policemen. There was a time when people even stocked the markets with those kind of numbers. But today we have a special guest, and let's ask him how he spent his first day in lockdown. Thank you very much for joining me. Saif Ali Khan joins me on the News Hour tonight, and welcome to the News Hour. So first things first, how was day one of the 21-day national lockdown that has been announced yesterday?
Well, it was a very quiet. It was a little unnerving. And there's mixed feelings. I mean, for us, it's not really been day one. I think we've been like this for the last week. I was shooting for Yash Raj Films about a week or 10 days ago. I've almost lost track of time. And we had a conversation on set with the production and Aditya Chopra, and we all came home anticipating, I think, what was going to happen. Because we were actually shooting a song, and we had hundreds of people on set, and so anticipating what was going to happen, we all came home a week ago, and we've been pretty much locked down since then. So this is just the way things have been, and it seems the way things are going to be. We try and kind of divide our time.
Well, how are you spending your time? Are you spending time with the family? What are you doing? And are you reading up? You're said to be a voracious reader. What exactly are you doing?
Well, I mean, I think the idea. You kind of, the way I look at it is that we're at war. So we're at war with the germs, I suppose. So there's a certain amount of rationing that's involved. There's, you're trying to ration your own energy and positivity, as well as, food and water and resources, and trying to live as simply as possible in these times. There are some silver linings. We get to spend some time with our children, with our child at home. And there are many things that we could do that are constructive. Whether it's taking guitar lessons online, or reading, or taking French classes, or cooking, or exercising, and then spending time with each other. So it's still early days. But I can think of a lot of things that I'd quite like to do in this time. But thoughts are more with, yeah.
Oh, are we hearing Taimur? Are we hearing Taimur?
I'm talking to somebody.
Please get him on the show. Please get him on the show.
Sorry. Yeah. No, he's on TV.
Oh my God. Are the viewers of Times now? Oh, hi.
What have you been doing?
Hi, Taimur. You're a social media heartthrob. We all love you. Hi, Taimur. Is it good to have Daddy around?
I think that's your house.
Oh.
Are you having fun at home?
You're having fun at home?
Yeah. What have you been doing?
Where is her?
Where is her? I don't know. We can't see them. They can only see us. It's unfair.
You can see us on TV.
Where are you?
I'm here in the studio, Taimur. Go and look in the television. Oh, wow.
All right, and then you scare me. Yes. Yes.
So
Sorry,
is Taimur missing the paparazzi?
I don't think so. Not very much.
And is he enjoying time with Dad? Well, okay. So Saif, you're a voracious reader. Can you recommend a few books for our viewers who are cooped up at home and are looking for ways and recommendations on what to read?
Yeah, I've decided I'm gonna try and read War and Peace by the time I get through this thing. So I've started reading War and Peace. I've always wanted to. I think this is a sadly, a decent opportunity. Taking courses online, doing some exercises. There's a lovely site called Coursera where you can, have these online courses on various things.
Okay, viewers, note
I'm
that.
taking guitar lessons online, which is something I haven't done in a while. And things like that, a little bit of improving the body, improving the mind, cooking, bonding, spending time at home. I'm actually quite comfortable spending time with myself and with my family like this. I mean, I'm missing acting, I'm missing work. There's a productive side to our existence that's completely gone out of the window. It's also really unnerving not knowing how this is going to impact movies in general. I can't imagine anyone really wanting to go and sit in a cinema hall in the foreseeable future. So I wonder what will happen there. So there's worries like that, but eating dal chawal, keeping it simple, cooking, reading, spending time, this kind of social applications where we can talk to our friends and family help quite a lot. There is a little bit of cabin fever from time to time.
Okay, all right. I know. But are you fond of cooking? Are you making yourself useful in the kitchen?
Yes, I've been cooking almost every day. I don't cook breakfast or lunch, but I'm cooking dinner. I'm not sure how good it is. Today is lamb, meatballs, and spaghetti. While that lasts.
Sounds good.
But otherwise, we have kind of dal chawal for 2 days, and then we try and cook something a little more interesting to keep our spirits up on the third day. That's how we've rationed it at the moment.
Well, dal chawal sounds very good, but meatballs and spaghetti also very good. But Saif, many people say, and this is, all WhatsApp forward cartoons and social media is buzzing with this, that maybe there would be problems between couples getting on each other's nerves because they're spending just too much time together. Is that something you're worried about?
Yeah, I mean, I can well imagine that. Depends whether you're used to doing that or not. I mean, it's probably going to swing both ways. I mean, you might have a generation of children born around this time as well.
Oh my God. A baby boom is definitely something this country doesn't need.
Yes, but depending on your circumstances, that might be one of the outcomes.
Well. So what do you recommend people should do? What are the constructive ways of spending time judiciously? Something that's on your book which you can share with our viewers tonight.
Well, I tell you, I think one of the most important things is to ration everything in a sense, and don't hoard stuff. I mean, we shouldn't cause panic. Don't withdraw all the money from the bank. Don't start going out and buying all the dal and whatever, all the rations panic. And kind of people have a tendency. Yeah. I mean, history has shown us people have a tendency to kind of hoard, and not much has changed. I mean, if you look at some of the pictures that I'm shown of the supermarkets, I mean, people are going into panic mode, and you really don't need to. I think we're being fairly well looked after when it comes to the essentials, and that's important, and it's going to be all right. And I think this is going to take a while. I mean, we've been told England's apparently locked down for 6 months, so if that's anything to go by,
we're doing fairly all right.
These are going to be tough times. So to ration your own energy and just be patient and to stay calm and try and do positive things and, get your exercise in, look after your body, look after your mind, and try and be patient and kind to each other, because I'm sure everyone's going to get on everyone's nerves after a point, but let's try and rise above that.
I know. We have to try and rise above that. But Saif, I also want to ask you, many people from your industry, you travel abroad for shoots, you are in large groups of people, and let's talk about the example of Kanika Kapoor as well. Do you think people should behave more responsibly than she did? And self-isolation, getting yourself tested and being upfront about it. Do you think that's something that should happen from all of us?
Yes, of course you have to be responsible. I mean, I don't know. I feel a little bad for Kanika Kapoor in the sense that, I think it's a good example and a good time for people to start taking it more seriously. When it happens to somebody you know and to somebody you've been at a party with, it kind of makes you wake up slightly. So perhaps the people who invited her are as much to blame as her herself, if there is blame. I mean, I don't like blaming people at times like this. I think we have a terrible tendency to make scapegoats out of people, and it shouldn't be there. I mean, I'm sure it wasn't done on purpose, but at times like this, I think, yeah, we do have a responsibility to quarantine ourselves. And first of all, try not to catch it. And secondly, try not to spread it. I mean, those are the only two things you can do. If you haven't managed to avoid catching it, you have to avoid spreading it.
Well, Saif, I want to ask you, some of us are going crazy sanitizing the surfaces that we work on and sanitizing our hands, washing our hands. Are you also going crazy sanitizing your house, cleaning, wiping, sponging surfaces? Are you also, going crazy trying to keep Taimur's hands absolutely washed, sanitized? Is it something that is creating a bit of a psychological pressure on all our minds?
Well, I kind of, we tried initially to kind of wash and do that, but now I think we try and keep it clean to a certain extent as much as we can. But I don't think any of us are really panicking yet. I mean, obviously, I'm very concerned about my mother, and I'm very concerned about my child, both of which who are in a zone where I'm told that it could be a little dangerous. So there is that. But on the other hand, I think the way our DNA is, I mean, my mother said to me something quite philosophical, but Taimur, I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's only a certain amount you can do. And after that, you kind of hope that if you do contract it, you get through it. I'm told on one hand that we're all going to get it. It's just a question of, not everyone getting it at the same time so that systems are completely overwhelmed. So I've come somewhere, I'm okay with the fact, I'm going to try not to get it. I'm going to wash my hands and I'm going to try and sanitize as much as I can and distance myself as much as I can. But if I do get it, my next thought will be, I hope I survive. And then form antibodies. I mean, this is just something that we're going to have to go through. And I think it's going to define us. I mean, there's going to be people who react differently.
True. Saif, I also want to ask you, there has been criticism, with the announcement made by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, which is, who's implemented this national lockdown. Do you think it is an overreaction? Because some people say it is, and not the best decision taken by the Prime Minister?
Well, it's always better at times like this to overreact. And I mean, if you're aware of what's going on with the world, it's better to overreact than underreact. I mean, what kind of message do you want to give? You don't want to succumb to this illness while giving a press conference about how safe it is. For example, that's the wrong message to give. The right message to give is, to go into an emergency kind of lockdown situation. I mean, every country has its own limitations and approach. But we're learning from other countries. We're seeing what happened with Hong Kong relaxing its measures and a kind of a relapse happening there. We saw England being a bit slow on the reaction, which perhaps, I don't know why they did that. But it's not an overreaction. We have to kind of slow this thing down as much as possible. In our country, particularly with the population density we have, the kind of underprivileged, the kind of density with which people live in, this thing could be really, really dangerous. So we don't want to overwhelm the health services. So we have to try and be as careful as possible.
Which is true, but Saif, there has also been several cases where our Corona warriors, as we call them, our health services experts, our policemen who are looking after us, our doctors, our airline crew, they've been targeted, they've been ostracized. What would you say to people? What's your message to them who are targeting them in this manner?
I mean, again, I'm sorry. It's just the kind of reading I've done and the kind of history has shown us when things like plagues have struck and when famine has struck, and when the people get scared, they behave terribly, and all kinds of things happen. And I don't know whether you have to encourage people to try and understand that the only thing between us and that disease are the health workers. And we have to encourage them and realize that, I'm sorry to say this, but but from my reading and my understanding, if you get it, it's probably not going to kill you. You're probably going to be all right. And to react with so much panic, I think, is wrong. But the idea is everyone should not get it at the same time. So that is that's the stress, and that's what we're trying to work on. Because otherwise, you can just look at other countries and you learn from them. You don't want a situation like Italy or Iran. So that's where we're at.
So Saif, gyms are shut. And your wife, Kareena Kapoor Khan, is a fitness freak. So are you being instructors for each other? Is there enough inspiration at home to do your workouts at home now?
Well, of course we're encouraged. I think we're a good team here, and we're very lucky that we've got this little bundle of positive energy in Taimur, who's a Buddhist in his positive attitude towards everything that's going on. So we're spending our days, like I told you, half the day exercising, well, not half the day, but the morning exercising, and then reading, and then cooking, and trying to be as positive as possible. And I think, there's many things to do. Obviously our concerns, we're worried about people less fortunate than us who might be unwell, and we don't want this thing to go rampant in our country. But people have suffered much worse than this, Okay, let me say one thing. Every generation has had a crunch time. People have been born during the Blitz, when London's been bombed by the German Air Force, or partition in India, or, terrible epidemics in the past. This is our time where we're going to be judged by what happens. And it's a bad time, but we could have had it worse. Yes, we could have had it better, but we need to, I think, step up and do our part and just be really positive and as constructive as we possibly can for each other and for the nation and for the world,
Well, Saif, before I say bye to you, I think our viewers would like another glimpse of Taimur. Is it possible to get him, if he can say, give a flying kiss to our viewers or just say bye to them? Maybe it'll cheer them up on day one of the lockdown?
Let me see if I can go find him. Hang on.
Well, it's going to be a treat if we get to see Taimur again.
I'm sorry, he's currently on the potty.
Well, we can't quibble with that. It's an important place to be in, and nobody can interrupt or disturb him there. So Saif, before I let you go, any advice for parents who are finding it difficult to tackle kids who are a handful when there are teenagers at home, and young boys who are always hungry, or girls who are always saying, what should we do, what should we wear, and we have nowhere to go? What would you advise parents tonight?
Gosh, I don't know. It's a tough time. Where a lot of people have never spent so much time for so long in this kind of proximity. You have to step up. You have to change the way you look at things, and you have to calm down, and you've got to take it easy and be as loving as you can and deal with this thing. This is going to go on for a while, and it's going to change perhaps the way we live our lives. We don't even know. We don't even know what's going to happen. But it's going to be all right. We're still going to have food to eat, and we're going to have love to give. So just take it easy, guys. Just take it easy. Worse things have happened. It's going to be okay. But, it's all right to take a pause for something terrible to happen. It's okay. We have to kind of watch it happen, observe it, and react to it in as positive a way as we can. So just take it slow and be patient.
Well, that's the positive note. You will still have people, food to eat, love to give. That's the positive advice coming in from the superstar himself, Saif Ali Khan. Thank you very much, Saif Ali Khan, for joining us. And ladies and gentlemen, all of you are filled with anger, who want to beat up our policemen, who want to throw out doctors who are your tenants. Don't do that. we have to stick together. They are our lifelines, they are our corona warriors, and we'll keep bringing you sane advice from people who you would like to watch and get advice from. So ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to check the tweets on Times Now's Twitter handle, on the News Hour, and find this entire interview on the Twitter timeline of Times Now, because you need to get your recommendations on which sites to go to, what to learn when you're in your national lockdown moments, and of course, which books to read, what to watch, what to do. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me on the News Hour. Good night from me, Padmaja Joshi. Up next, don't go anywhere.